Ouidah was one of the largest slave trading posts in West Africa, with an estimated 1.5 million slaves being shipped from here. The 4-kilometer dirt road that leads to the door of no return in Ouidah, a port city in the Republic of Benin, serves a sort of pilgrimage site for a handful of local Beninese, the occasional tourist or the visitor who seeks to uncover a painful chapter of this town's slave trading past. The path, commonly known as the slave route, stretches from the market square where slaves were once sold to the sandy shores of the Atlantic Ocean and contains over 100 sculptures and a number of murals meant to commemorate victims of the trade. They were marched in chains from the town's slave market to the nearby port where they would board ships to unknown destinations, the majority of them never to return. They were often blindfolded and marched in circles around the free trees or few obstacles along the way to make them forget where they came from, purely physically, so they wouldn't try to escape, as well as symbolically. Today, a memorial arch known as the Door of No Return stands on the beach, a monument to the horrors of slavery. The massive slave trade in Benin was a cooperative effort between African rulers and private merchants from the 1580s to the 1720s. The coastal kingdom of Ouidah exported around 1,000 slaves a month, many of them taken captive during the tribal wars in the interior. These enslaved men were then taken to Ouidah, where they were sold to European and Arab merchants. This practice continued with the kingdom of Dahomey, which conquered Ouidah in 1727 up until the end of the slave trade in the 1860s. The slave route in Ouidah, Benin, that covers the last 4 kilometers that more than 1.5 million people kidnapped in Africa to be enslaved before boarding the ships that would take them to an unknown destination. The slave route is from the slave market in the middle of town along the 4-kilometer track to the sea. Slaves were forced to work chained together neck to neck in the blistering heat or pounding rain to be boarded onto ships awaiting departure for the Americas. The enslaved Africans had to work a few miles to the coastline where ships waited to take them away to Jamaica or Brazil or some other unknown destination. Small rowboats would take them out to the larger ships, and some would jump overboard in the rough water rather than facing the uncertainty of the voyage or the life ahead. For most, the beach at Ouidah was the last sight of Africa they would ever see. It consists of 6 main stages. Plaza Chacha, where enslaved people who arrived were auctioned. The tree of oblivion, replanted in 1992, that commemorates the tree where men went round 9 times and women 7, so that in accordance with the Voodoo tradition they would forget their origin. The Jamai house, where slaves waited for the arrival of the so-called slave ships. The memorial of Jongboji, the mass grave where dead slaves were thrown. The tree of return that would allow their souls to return to their land of origin after their death. The route ends where the ships used to arrive, today symbolized with the artistic work, the door of no return. The different stages of the route are symbolized by artistic works strongly inspired in the Voodoo cult. The guide will take us to the entire journey.
But the slave road is starts by Abome in the center of Benin. From over there to the beach, they have to walk. They have to walk. So at that time there were no car or train. So they have to walk on the rain, on the sun. There were caps and chain on the neck and on the foot and on the hands. So from over there they walk. You can imagine how they can walk like that. And it were some narrow roads. A spin injure their body. So for make care of those injured, they put pepper and salt together and they put inside. It were a surface where they come here. It is here, the place here that you see, it is the first step that they control them. So the Portuguese, those European, they are in the fall and they come here for changing those slaves by some things, some real things. It's some collier. We have a boom and some cannon. For example, for one cannon they take 21 women or 21 women or 15 men. Okay. But before trades, they have to look the teeth and the teeth of those slaves for seeing if they are strong, they can go for the travel. So after that, we have place on the where you have a door over there. It's where a smith. So they put iron on a fire. It's become very wet, and they take to write on the back of the slaves. If it is a Portuguese, he writes P. If it were a French, he writes F. So on and so forth. Why does they write on their back? Why that? Because for going over there, it is a one ship who can come for all those slaves. So when they will go with the slaves, the Portuguese won't have problem with French for not having problem in themselves. That's why they have to write in their back. So it is the first step, the market of the slaves. It's here that they trade them. Thank you. We'll go. But on the roads, we have a tree. I will talk about this tree. The second step, if they go there, it's a tree, magic tree. If they go there, they have to turn around the tree. 7 if you are woman, or 9 if you are man. Why 7 and 9? Because in our ancestral knowledge, the men have 9 rank and the women have 7. But scientifically, all of us we have 12, as you know. So if they turn around this tree, it is for forgetting the family. Because like we are together like that, and they catch one people in earth. Those people who go, he will think about his parents, his family, his child, his feeds, all those that he leave and go, because he don't know where he go. So if they turn around it is for forgetting all those they have. So we will go to the third step, and it is a darkness room, and we will continue. Thank you so much. Slaves, yeah, under it.
Ouidah, we are entering the village, place of slave. The first step, the tree where the slaves were being tortured.
We are in the first step of the slave room. It is a darkness room. And if they bring slaves here, they will stay in 2 weeks for waiting. Yeah, the slaves. They stay in 2 weeks for waiting for the coming to the ship. So, if they bring them here, it is a darkness room. There will no window, just a small gate when they will enter by. If they enter inside, they will stay inside all day. If they want to weave or sheets, they will do it all in the room. For eating, those slaves have just a bread and water that they will take. And how do they give them? 1 in 2 days.
Oh.
So in 48 hours, they will eat just 1 time. But if you are rebel, they don't have eating. They must leave you like that, and you will be late. If you are late, can you cry again? No. So some people, some slaves they can leave them like that, and they shout again. If you continue, they will end your hand. So if you see, it is like that they treat them. And for staying in this position, you can think in 2 weeks, can they go by here by for didn't be sick or dying? So the blood can't circulate in their body. In this position, you can think the blood can never circulate. I mean, understand? And if they stay inside, you also can do this experience, to be in a darkness room in some 5 hours and go out, you can't see clear. So for if they stay here, before go, we have many of them which die, more than the half. We have some people who die, some people who are dying, some people who are sick. So we will go, where do they put them? After that? Yeah, after being here, before people who they put the slave, the grave, a communal grave, will go there, and you will see the tree before continuing. It is a grand forest.
Okay.
It is in our local language here.
Okay.
A communal grave. I can say it's little, because it is all those people that they put in the grave. It has 21 meter of the deep.
Okay.
So on the darkness room, people who are dying, those who are sick, or those who is already died, they put all of them inside. But we can ask for ourselves, why don't leave slaves who are dying or who is sick to go in their house? Because if they leave them going to home, they will say for their parents, for the population, how do they treat them during the travel?
From where they take slaves?
The slaves. Yeah. I said the slaves, which is that
So from which countries they take slaves? Like from Benin only or from
Benin.
the
We have some slaves who come from Nigeria,
other?
which come from Togo,
Mhm.
those who come from the north of Benin, from Burkina. Because in Dahomey, at that time, Dahomey is cover those countries. Those countries. It's not all, but it is a great part. One part of Nigeria, one part of Togo too.
Oh, that time it was a greater kingdom.
Yeah.
There was no Nigeria, Togo or anything. The kingdom was very big.
Yeah.
It
So
is-
the kingdom were very big.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the monument you will see these words. It has 6 meters of the height.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see the red color, which means the bloods of those parents who passed by here, who were
Okay.
buried here.
Okay.
You see the chin is some black color, which means the chin that they used to treat them, to chin them, and those it is the slaves.
Okay.
I mean honestly. Okay, so we will go to. Okay, here we are under the tree of return. We call it the tree of return, the tree of prophecy. It is by those three that the slaves, some that you see, please come, please come. From this tree that we have the descendants of Africa which come in this country. We call it Tigelia africana. They breed it, they plant it since 1727 by the king. So if they have already finished, but they bring some people who are sick over there, people who are strong and they can go, they come here. They have to turn around this tree 3 times. Before planting this tree, they did some sacrifice, some ritual.
Okay.
So it is this day that they plant it that it's wrong. But it were did by some animals. And if they turn around it, their soul will keep in the tree. Yeah. Then we'll see some the descendants of those slaves come here now. Then if they turn around it, when they will die in America, in Brazil, in Alabama, in Haiti, their soul will come back to their country.
Okay,
Because
okay.
we say that in our culture, men can die, but the soul will never die.
Okay.
So their souls return there.
Yeah, the soul come back.
Their
So-
soul come back
Come back.
after die.
Yes, after dying,
Anywhere in the world.
anywhere.
So basically, to incarnate the soul of the slaves
Yeah.
who died anywhere in the world,
Yeah.
after dying, their soul should return to this place.
Yes.
This is the speciality of this tree,
Really.
and this tree have a special power.
Special power.
Okay.
So every day, every year, they do some ceremony.
Okay. Thank you.
And his name, his real name, it is Tigelia africana.
Tigelia africana. Africana. Wow. देख लो भाई लोगों. No, this one. Cactus. I like this cactus. Very nice plant. Interesting. Very big mirror. we are entering the point of no return at Ouidah, Cotonou, Benin.
In the last step of the slave road, if the slaves come by since Abomey, they pass by a lagoon, a salt lagoon. Over there they know that it is in Ouidah, but by already that then they cross, it is here, the place that they never know. If you see on the beach, the sky and the sea is together. For them, there's no country over there. So if they come here, it is the last step, the place where they don't know. And as they don't know where they go for the last time for the country. Many people start by crying, by shout again. Many people start by eating some for dying in the country. They prefer dying here than going in another country, or it's not another country, by going to die in the sea, because they don't know if something is over there. So if they live here, they cry their sufferings, they have to die here than die in the sea or die another way. If you see in the monuments, it just symbolizes the last step. You see a ship between them, and it is like we are in the back, and we see them around. From here to over there, it was 8 kilometers. Every year the sea come again. So if we are here, we see the slaves, people who is a front, it's
Bonjour!
that means that they are growing a lot. So they have so it is in 1995 that they inaugurate the 4 step that we do in the 21 kilometers. So from Abomey to here it were 21 kilometers. So UNESCO and the president of Benin at that time have a collaboration for inaugurate the 4 kilometers on the 21 kilometers. I mean, understand? Okay, then we will turn around and see the spiritual. Here it is the physical face of the monument that we see there, and we will turn and see the last face of the monument, which is a spiritual face. These monuments, you see, we have already seen this tree, which is between those people. It is the tree of return. They have already turned around it 3 times. So they go they will come here for markets. Like you see people, you can see some women and men. That means that if you are men or you are woman, you will be treated by the same way. So it is the same sufferance for women, same sufferance for men too. And here, the place as you see here, a beautiful place that you see here, it is a place that we use to do the feast of Voodoo. All 10 January, we celebrate here the feast of Voodoo. Yeah, the Voodoo festival here. And why it is here that they choose they choose here because the last step, the last ship which go by here, getting some priests of voodoo, some divinities. So if today we see the voodoo in Brazil, in Alabama, in Haiti, in those countries, in Anti, it's by here. That's why they choose here. So all 10 January, they use this place to do rings. And by going, they have some boats. The ship is on the ledge, on the sea. And the boats, they put 7 slaves in the boats, and they'll go to the big ship. For going, we have some people, some slaves who want to die in the country. So if they chain them, they put them inside. If someone of them want to join up in the sea, it's trained 7 people who join inside. So many slaves die instead before go. And one thing again, the women in the big ship must sleep in their back, and the men must sleep in the like that. On the roads, the women, so the prophets or the women, and they pregnant some women, because if they go over there for selling the women who are pregnant, it is 3 times more down expensive than one women who are not pregnant. It is the first what am I saying, relationship between men or black men and one and black men. And you see a podium there. In this podium, they put the divinities for doing the ceremony. Before starting the ceremony, they pray for those innocent people who pass by here. And it has a heart for that means that the voodoo is the heart, is a peace, a tolerance, a fraternity. So thank you. It's here that ends my presentation. If you have a question, it's welcome.
Meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You look great.
Yeah.
You're enjoying the beach.
Yeah. I'm Ati.
You are from
I'm from Benin, from Ouidah.
Ouidah. Oh wow. So can you
Yes.
say something about this place?
I have my shop there. I have my gallery.
Okay.
I sell everything. I do many things.
Okay. And what is about this place? Can you know the history?
In front of the gate of no return.
Gate of no return, yes. That far, that
Yeah.
gate of no return.
Yes.
And with that beautiful beach where the slavery point is there, the Europeans and Americans used to slave and take from this route
Yeah.
to different countries.
The different countries. Yeah. You know the story.
Yeah. And this beautiful monument depicting the map of Republic of Benin. Beautiful sunset view and waves on the Atlantic Ocean. On my back side, the monument of Republic of Benin map. crowd is enjoying the beach. Hi. Bonjour, how are you? You are from Cotonou? Enjoying the beach? Point of no return? Having great time? At Benin Republic? At point of no return with my... Having photography? With another friend? Thank you. Fine. Hi, bonjour. How are you?